the intensity that it brings, and the constant velocity and, crazy reps and everything is actually twofold. Number one, it's the mental fortitude that it builds, because apparently it has like ridiculous amount of reps and ridiculous amount of sets that seem impossible at the beginning of the workout. You're like, what? There's no possible way that I can do this in this time, for example.
Yeah.
And when you're in it, you're just in it, and you just kind of have to do what's in front of you and get to the next one and get to the next one. And by the end of it, you look back and you're like, holy shit, I can do this. And I did do it. And that builds a mental fortitude of sorts. The second thing is the anaerobic endurance that it builds, especially from the point of view that you're operating at your lactic threshold the entire time, right? You're basically building so much lactic acid in the way that I understand it is that from a lactic threshold perspective, at least, is lactic acid is produced as a response to supply your muscles with energy when your body cannot supply your muscles with enough oxygen. And that fucking hurts. But if you operate consistently at that threshold, you can push that threshold and become a lot more comfortable in it. And in fighting and martial arts, that's a big advantage. That kind of thing is what's going to help you not gas out during a fight and be able to push through and be able to last. So those are the two things that I take from it. I don't know how valuable that information is.
So the thing about CrossFit is they've also created their own world. So people who have taken on CrossFit as a training, they've also taken it on as a sport. So for example, when I've started training in CrossFit, I immediately started doing the Spartan races. Like we've got Spartan here in South Africa, they have the Warrior race, etc. So it's a race where you run 15 to 20 kilometers. And in those 15 to 20 kilometers, there's about 30 to 35 physical challenges where you got to pull a bag up, or you got to carry a bag over a sand dune, or whatever it may be. You're taking what you've learned over the last year of training and applying it to an actual race. And that's when, like I said, they've created their own little atmosphere of where you can apply these skills. And that's what I'm saying. They've dedicated so much time to the training of it that they needed to put a place to show what you're going to use it for instead of your everyday life. But the thing is, you're doing that event once a year, twice a year, maybe. If you had to do that every day to also fit in a boxing training, which is hugely taxing on on your body, I can't imagine you getting the best out of either of those trainings.
Yeah, for
depending
sure.
on which you do first.
Yeah, fair.
So I guess the general consensus is it's good for martial artists as a base, but it's not ideal.